Well, the Wisconsin Badgers opened the Big Ten season last weekend against arch rival Minnesota. Gophers rallied to win game 1 3-2. Badgers played well in the finale and won 3-1. Now it's off to Columbus to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm Brian Posick. Stay tuned. Head coach Tony Granato joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest. Head coach Tony Granato joins us now, and Wisconsin coming off a series split with Minnesota to open the Big Ten season. Two very good hockey games, evenly matched clubs, I would say. Tough one on Friday when the Gophers scored 3 goals in a matter of 74 seconds midway through the second period, but an excellent response by your club later in that game, plus carrying it over to Saturday in your 3-1 victory.
Yeah, it was exactly what we said going into the weekend. It was going to be two teams that were going to go up and down the ice and fight for every inch of ice and battle at the net front, crash into goalies, crash into each other on the boards. It was a battle, and I was proud of our guys. I thought, they went through a really difficult game on Friday because we probably played outstanding for 58 of those minutes. Mm-hmm. We got a bad break when Daniel got bumped into, and they scored the goal on that play. Then we give up a power play goal, and then they score right after that. You give up 3 goals in a short period of time. The response after that was good. We had plenty of chances to tie the game up. We thought Robson was the difference in that game. He made 4 or 5 great saves, especially at the end of the game there. So our energy was good. The freshmen were good. Daniel played outstanding in net. Our upperclassmen all found a way to battle back on Saturday and help us get the split.
Yeah, and on Saturday, the Badgers found themselves down 1-0, plus down a player. Dominic Mersch took a 5-minute major. He had to kill off a lot of power play time. Gophers scored on that power play, but the final 4 minutes, your penalty killers were really good, and we've seen that unit, or those units, really improve over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I agree. Our penalty killing has made great strides. Daniel's been the best penalty killer. Your penalty killing is good when your goalie's your best penalty killer, and he has been. And I think, if at that point, we felt bad for ourselves after losing Friday. Then you get a major penalty call against you, relatively early in the game, and they score in the first minute of that power play. You got 4 more minutes to kill. That was the key moment of Saturday night for us. If we could find a way to fend that off and kill the rest of it, it would give us some momentum out of it. I think it did. We drew the penalty to give us a 4-on-3 late in the period, and we ended up tying the game. So when you give up a goal in the first minute of a major, and at the end of the period you locked up 1-1, you came out of it really good. So I loved our compete. Doogie was great at a net front presence on that goal, and I thought our team really responded well. Played a great game on Saturday.
Yeah, Sean Doogie scored the game-tying goal late in the first, and then after a scoreless second period, Josh has sophomore defenseman scored the go-ahead goal. Jack Gorniak finished it off with an empty netter, but to see Josh S. score that goal against the team, the state where he's from, and also after a rough weekend at North Dakota, I thought he played pretty well this past weekend.
He did, and Josh is coming off a shoulder injury from the end of last year. His start to this year wasn't as consistent as he was last year. Last year I thought from start to finish he probably was our most consistent player. This year it's been a little bit of a rocky start for him, but he's a young defenseman that is a big part of our team. It was great to see him get on the board there, and like you said, Jack Gorniak then finishes the night off with a great defensive play that gave him the opportunity to get that empty net goal.
Yep, a lot of fun to watch. So the Badgers lose 3-2, then win 3-1 and split the series. They hit the road now for 4 in a row at Ohio State and at Michigan. By the way, on Friday, Wyatt Kalynuk scored his 5th goal of the game. He only had 3 as a freshman last year. I mean, here's a young man that produced 25 points as a rookie. He's got 11 already as a sophomore. Let's take 2 minutes with Wyatt Kalynuk. What did you learn from last year as a freshman that you wanted to improve upon this year as a sophomore?
Probably mostly just the D-zone stuff. I think offensively that stuff's just going to come kind of just as you play, but I think for me, being kind of a smaller guy on the defensive end, I think learning to play in the D-zone was probably the biggest thing for me. It's still something I need to work on a lot. But I think it's starting to come a little bit, mostly just body positioning, because I'm still not the biggest guy out there. I can't move guys around very easily, so definitely D-zone.
Yeah, in front of the net, it's so important to protect your goaltender too. So as a a young freshman a year ago. You may have been outmanned a few times. Are you stronger and more willing to stick your nose in there if you have to take somebody out in front of the net?
For sure. I think this summer, obviously, we were here all summer. We work with Jim 4 or 5 times a week, so I think for sure got a lot stronger, and that's a big part of it. Coach Osiki, he's really big on kind of owning the net front, so I think that's definitely a mindset we have going into every weekend.
And you have to want to, too. I mean, it's hard work to do that, isn't
Exactly. Yeah, it's not easy. Kind of takes guts to do it, especially maybe on the PK when pucks are coming in from the one-timer flank, but it's just what you got to do. It's part of the game. It's part of being a defenseman. So I think as a decor, we love it.
Yeah. Wyatt loves to skate too and create offense, and you're off to a pretty good start. So you're an offensive defenseman? Is that how you would classify yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably classify myself as that. Yeah.
Do you think that's going to get you to the next level someday?
I mean, it could be a part of my game. I think being an offensive guy at the next level, but I think I would have to be good in both ends. I don't think offense is just going to carry me. I think if I can continue to work on being better in the D zone, it'll help me a lot.
Wyatt Kalynuk did not score 5 goals in a game last weekend. He does have 5 goals for the season, which is pretty impressive. 5 goals in a game would be all right too, but nevertheless, where do you think he's improved most from his freshman season to early in his sophomore campaign?
Well, I think the one thing that I respect most about Wyatt, he had a great freshman year. And as soon as the season ended, he started preparing for this season. And not satisfied with what he did last year, finding ways to get better, spends lots of time with Coach Osiki on video, on studying other players. His time he spends in the gym with Jimmy Schneider, his mental approach. He's just a well-balanced kid that's got it really figured out, that what he wants is to continue to get better, so when he does leave the University of Wisconsin, he's ready for his NHL career. And you got to admire an athlete like that, a student athlete like that. Obviously does well in the classroom, so he's got a lot of commitments in the schoolroom as well. But I really love the fact that he is a competitor that demands a lot of himself. And when he scores or when he plays as well, he's put in the effort and deserves all the accolades. And if he does ever get 5 goals in one game, we can say that Brian was the one that expected to do it, because he's capable.
I've got a feeling.
I do too.
Someday. Daniel Lebedev, freshman goaltender from Finland, certainly has been really good for you, hasn't he?
Sensational. He was a guy that we were fortunate enough to fall upon, because he was right here in Madison just a couple years ago playing for the Capitals. We saw him 2 or 3 times, talked to his goalie coach there and Greeny, and asked about his work habits and everything else. Did a lot of homework on him, and in the Finnish national program, he's one of those kids that when you develop through Finland, they produce goaltenders, and we loved his mechanics, and so far in his early season performance has been everything we've hoped. And the competitiveness part of it is the part I love. The other part about being able to bounce back and be resilient. So he gets knocked down, and they get that goal against him on Friday night, and then 2 more go in right after that. For him to settle back into the game and make 4 or 5 key saves to give us a chance to tie it at the other end was outstanding. And then to be able to forget about it after Friday night to get focused for the start of the game Saturday. And was incredible. The goal they scored on him on Saturday night was deflected off of our stick, had no chance. Other than that, he was perfect. His positioning, his rebound control, his aggressiveness was what you want in a goaltender, and that gave our team confidence. When your team sees that, their energy and their willingness to block shots and the confidence that they gain from your goaltender goes a long way.
Yep. And Daniel Lebedev will be in goal on Friday night for the series opener against Ohio State. They play Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, by the way, and looking forward to this matchup with the Buckeyes, who last year made it to the Frozen Four, one of 3 Big Ten teams to do so. So good luck in Columbus this weekend.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Brad.
Sure, that's head coach Tony Granato. Again, Friday night at 6 o'clock, Saturday at 4 o'clock, both games on the Badger Sports Network. For Tony Granato, I'm Brian Posick. Jay Williams with us, too. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.